groups, local policies, Active Directory. AD installation. We are going to not going to talk about Active Directory. We'll mention the AD. Okay. AD means Active Directory. Active Directory concept and AD installation and configuration. First, users. Yesterday we completed the installation of Windows 2000 server, Windows 2008 server. Okay. If whoever installed Windows 2008 server or Windows 2012 server, it's a good. Okay. You understand that how to install Windows 2000 server. You can install any version, doesn't matter. Any edition, doesn't matter. We are going to understand the basic concepts. Okay. By understanding that basic concepts, how we can use the server for the enterprise environment purpose. We need to correlate. Even though we are working on a lab environment, it's you should understand how it is going to work in enterprise environment. Okay, here enterprise environment in the sense you need to consider a office, a small scale office, middle scale office. We got three types: small office, mid office, enterprise environment. Enterprise environment means that office locations have different locations, different countries. So different people are going to work on from the different countries. So according to the placement of the environment, it is going to call it as a mid-scale or large-scale enterprise environments. Okay. Before going that, okay, we need to understand what is users, what is a groups, what is local policies. Users in the sense, in WhatsApp we created a group. What is that group means? A member of certain members together and sharing the communication with a common group. That we call it as a group. What is the users? Users is nothing but a identity for a particular person, whoever going to use that particular application. I'm going to call it as, in my group 20 members are there. 20 users I'm going to call it as. Okay. 20 users are going to share the communication within a group. Okay. There are different groups are available. Group is nothing but a set of persons, set of users, anything, we call it as any group. Okay. So why we need a user in a server administration? Why we need a user? When completed the server installation, how did you log into the system? We log into the system by using an ID. What that ID we configured? Administrator. Okay. By default, whenever you complete the installation, that particular server is going to have a supreme user. That a user we call it as administrator. Okay. So to use that particular server, is only administrator is required. As I told you initially, differentiation between the desktop operating system, server operating system. We discussed about desktop operating system is a single user. Okay. Generally in our laptop systems, in your home, you are going to create 2 or 4 IDs. One is husband, one is wife, one is kid 2. You are going to name it is. You are going to log in with the respective IDs. Okay. So that in the sense, in your laptop system, you are going to create a 4 user, 3 user, whatever the user you want. Okay. While creating a user, whoever first user is available on the system, That user is nothing but administrator of that particular system. That administrator, if he is going to create a user for other family members, he is going to create a IDs. IDs is nothing but a user ID to log in and to use that particular system. Okay. So similar way, coming to the server operating system, we talk about server operating system is the purpose to use that server by multiple users at a time. In desktop, only one user can use that system at a time. But in a server operating system, the main purpose of the server operating system is to use by multiple users. So that server can be logged in by multiple users from different locations, that application. So to log in by different users, how to achieve that? You are going to log in IRCT railway website. Each user is going to log in with their user ID. Who is going to create? You are going to create on your own to register yourself on your this IRCT website. So that by using that user ID, you are logged into that railway website to book the tickets. Similar way, users in an enterprise environment, they need to perform day-to-day operations. Then I need to log into their desktop. They need to log into their laptop. Okay. They need to log into their system by using a ID. That ID is nothing but the user ID, we call it as. Okay. How to create a users? What are the users are available? Whatever the ID we are going to create, we are going to provide certain information in the server to create an ID. Yesterday, we completed the installation of 2000 server. In that server, while logging, we noticed that only one user, that is administrator. So today we are going to create two more users or three more users and see how the user is going to create on a system server. Okay. Once a user is created, what is the concept of groups concept? Why we need a groups concept? The group concept is nothing but providing certain permissions. What type of that user belongs to which group? Okay. In a society, we have a president, vice president, secretary, like that different roles. Roles in the sense that particular role is going to have a certain permissions, certain privileges. So how to get a certain privileges for that particular user? Okay, we are creating a user first. Once a user is created, for that user, we are giving certain permission. We created a WhatsApp group. In that WhatsApp group, I am the admin group. I am the admin person. Rest all users are just members. They cannot edit the group, isn't it? In a WhatsApp group, I didn't provide the permission to change the group or to delete the group. Okay, what is that permission? You are participating in a group for us with limited permissions. Similar way, in a server administration also, the user is going to create, and once the user is created, that their administrator is going to provide certain permission for that particular user by assigning to certain group. Okay, so once he is part of certain group, that in the sense he is going to acquire certain privileges, certain permissions to perform certain actions on that server. Okay, so try to understand users and groups. What is user? User, a user to perform, to log in, to create an user ID on this particular server. What is a group? Whatever the user is created, for that particular user, we are going to provide certain privileges. Okay. So there are multiple groups are available. What types of groups are available on the system? We are going to see that. Okay. Next is local policies. Policies is nothing but, I told you, groups are going to have certain permissions. Similar way, policies in the sense In a society, in an organization, there are certain conditions we need to follow. Okay, that following the conditions is nothing but policies. What that particular user, once we assign a certain privileges, from where the privileges are going to come into picture. Okay, that privileges is nothing but the administrator can perform any type of action on the server. Okay, from where it is coming? From the policy settings. We are going to create a user and assign it to other group permission. The other group only performs a limited action on the server. From where we are restricting that action by using a policy settings. Okay. In addition to that, user password. User password is there. How many characters password we are going to set? You might see that while registering a user, password length should be 8 characters. Password should be having a small letter, an uppercase, and a special character. How we are going to design that? That settings, that policies, we call it as local policies. What are the policies? We need to understand what is a password length. The password should have how many characters, minimum and maximum characters. All those settings are going to control by policies. Okay. What we need to understand? What is a user? What is a group? And what is a policy? These three things we are going to see on the server now. Once we understand the user, a group, and a policy, then we'll go to that Active Directory concept. Okay, what is the Active Directory? We'll discuss about that. First, users, groups, and local policies. These three concepts we'll see on the server, how it is related, how do we do, where to check. Okay, all those things we are going to see now. Srini, just share your screen. Log into 2008 server, 2012 server, whatever the server is ready.
Yeah.
These updates are completed.
Yeah, yesterday it did.
Okay, cool. These updates, Windows updates are very much required. I'm going to share, configure this server as an Active Directory server. What you need to do, you need to create one more server by today and complete the basic Windows updates, configuration, all those things. SN and IP. This server IP is 10. You have to assign a 11 IP to different server. Okay, Srini?
Shall I log in?
Yeah, login. What I mean to say is, you need to create one more server.
That 2012 already it has 11 IP. So
Okay. Okay, you can give 12 IP then. Okay, no problem.
okay. Shall
Okay.
I switch on this also?
No, don't do that. Don't do that. It's not required now.
Okay.
This sharing screen is there now. At the bottom, do not show this Windows login at next login. Checkbox
Yes.
that. Once the server installation is this configuration class is over, don't close the VMware workstation. Don't close your laptop. Shut down laptop. You need to shut down this particular system first. Go to start. Click on start. Here log shutdown is there, right? You need to shut down the system here and then shut down your laptop. Without shutting down server, don't shut down your laptop. It is going to, whatever the server you created, it is going to crash certain times. Okay. Warm shutdown is must and required. Okay. Okay. Then close this icon screen. Open server manager. Okay. Now see here. Yesterday we understood that what is server manager. What we did, we assigned a IP configuration. Here in the same server manager, their options are available on the left hand side. Activate Windows, change system properties, view network connections. Just move the mouse there. Screen. Yeah, active Windows. Don't click. Don't click.
Okay.
Active Windows, change system properties, view network connections. If I want to change the network connection, I can go here also, view network connection. Okay, where device manager, where device manager is available in the same server manager, device manager is available under menu, diagnostics, expand diagnostic, device manager. Okay, we verified the drivers, what are the drivers are installed and all those things we verified. Network card is available or not. Once the network card is available, click on server manager at the top. Server manager, top. Okay, from here, how did we configure network icons? Yesterday we went to control panel. There we selected network and sharing option. That is one way. From here also I can go by click on view network connection. Okay, that is once IP address is configured, then what we did, configure the Windows firewall to allow communication from desktop to system. There are commands we encountered that IP config and all those things. Then next we configured RDP access. Okay. So once we already configured RDP, we should not use VMware workstation now. We have to minimize this VMware workstation, and by using RDP, we have to perform our actions. So here what Srini is going to do, he is going to minimize this VMware workstation. By RDP, he is going to use RDP connection to connect this server. How to do that? From the desktop, we have to use MSTSC. It's a command, Microsoft Terminal Service Client. Okay. Yes. Remote desktop connection. MSTSC is a command. Okay. Or you can type remote desktop. Also, it will come. But background, it is going to use Microsoft Terminal Service Client. Okay. So use 10. What the server you are going to connect? 10 IP.
Shall I give 10?
Yeah, 10.
No, we have given. Okay.
All users, if you have any doubt, any confusion while configuring your system, please raise your hand. Please share your screen. Okay. Whatever the issues you are going to encounter, it is going to lesson learn for other users. Okay. Don't get hesitate. Try to understand the concept. Try to explore the knowledge. Okay. How to configure, how to perform the actions. Okay. Simply listening is not going to work. Okay. Record sessions are available. Okay, I can do it later. It is not good way for practice. Okay. Now coming to the topic, what are the things that happened just now. Now we are going to configure users, where the users are available. How to check what are the users are available. Okay, in the server manager, there is an option configuration. Expand configuration. See, there is an option local users and groups. Expand this local users and groups. Click on users. Okay, see here. What is our users are available? Administrator available. There is a guest user is available. There is one more Windows Lab user is available. Okay, these are the users. How to create a user? You can right click on any open window or right click on user. Right click on user. See new user comes up in picture. New user. Or else you can click on this particular window. Right click on any place in this particular window under user. Cancel that. Right click. See new user. So in this way also we can select new user. So provide a name, user some name, any name, user one, user two, or anything. Provide the details. Password. Give any password. Give the default password. VMware at 123 or whatever the password you are using. Give default user. Okay. See that options are available. User must change the password at next login. Whenever this user is trying to log in, he is going to get a option that change your password at first login. Okay. Now remove that checkbox. We are not going to change the password. Remove that checkbox. Okay. There are different options are available. User cannot change password. Okay. These all options you need to explore. If I click on one box, what will happen? You need to understand. Okay. Now I'm going to say that we are going to create a user, how to create a user, and what is a groups concept. I'm going to explain that. Okay, click create. Create one more user, user two. Create. Okay, close. See, we created two more users on this particular system. But in the sense, we have an option of administrator user. We have a user called user one and user two. Okay. Now we connected this particular system through remote desktop system. Okay. Now I created a user now. So I can use this particular system. I can connect a remote desktop session, right? Okay. Now Srini is going to try perform a remote desktop session to the same server by using user one. Minimize this. Open remote desktop again. Now use user one. you are going to get an error. Let's see what error it is going to prompt you. What is this prompt? This connection was denied because the user account is not authorized for remote login. What is the difference? We create the users. One is administrator user, the other one is user one. Okay. We created a user, but we are not assigned any privileges for that particular user. How to assign a privileges? Come back to the previous session, RDP to administrator. Okay. Now we created a users. Now what this user has a permission, what privileges this user has a privileges by default. What we need to do? First select administrator, go to properties and see what privileges that administrator account has. Jayant, please go on mute, please. Okay. See here. Srini, you also go on mute. Okay. See here. Go to properties again. Administrator properties. See here. This administrator properties, there are certain member of. There is an option C. What is the tabs are available? There is one more option, member of. What is that member of? This particular user is member of one group, administrator group. Administrator group has a supreme permission privileges to control this particular server, to configure this server, or to access this server. Okay, now we understood that administrator has a privilege of administrator group. Close this, cancel, and see what user 1 and user 2 has the permission. Member of, what is a member? He is a member of users group, where these groups are available. Okay, cancel here. Now go to same screen, local users and groups. Go click on groups. See here, these are the groups are available. You can see each group, that description. Just expand this description little more, little long. You can understand what is the particular group and what is the description. If a user is a member of this particular group, he is going to get certain privileges. Okay. So why we call it as this particular users and groups are called as a local users and groups? Because these users and groups are available on this particular server. Okay, these groups are belongs to this particular server only. Okay, so whatever the users are going to member of is any one of this group, that user is going to get certain privileges. So now what I'm going to do, thus user 1 should access the remote desktop connection from outside. So what group he should be part of? There is a group called remote desktop users. Open that remote desktop users. Double click on that remote desktop users. Properties. Just double click. See here, who is the members? There is no members now. When I select a users, there is an option of member of. Here, when I select a group, it is asking who are my members. Now I'm going to add user 1 here. Select add user 1. Click on add. Click on add here only. Click on add. Yes, click on add. Type user 1. Check names. Okay, okay, click OK. Click on apply. Close this window. Minimize this RDP connection. Yes, MSDS remote desktop. 10, IP 10. Try user 1 now. Previously, we are unable to log into the server, isn't it? What happened? We are unable to log into the server. Now see what happens. We provided certain privileges for this particular user 1. What privileges we provided? Allow this particular user for remote desktop. He is part of remote desktop group, so that this particular user can log into the system. See here, what happens? Previously, I am not in a position to log into this remote desktop system. Now I am able to log in. That in the sense, for this particular user, I provided certain privileges. Okay. Similar way, there are multiple groups are available. Each group is going to have certain privileges. Now see, am I able to do configuration by using this particular user one? Let's see, open, try to create a user. What will happen? See, open server manager. Open server manager. Is user has a permission or not? What error it is getting? Server manager. Make the run as administrator. That means this user one is allowed to log into the system only. He is not allowed to perform any administrative task. That in the sense it's a restriction. From where these restrictions are coming up? These restrictions are going to coming up from the policies, local policies. Okay. As a normal user, even you cannot open other settings also. You cannot change network setting. You cannot change the system settings. You cannot perform any actions, isn't it? So we are going to perform certain other action. Other user is there. Go to RDP administrator session. Minimize this. Just minimize. Yes. Yes. Now, what I'm going to do is, there is one more different groups are available. What is that other groups? I'm going to add user 2 to some group where it has more privileges. See, power users has there. Power users are including for bandwidth, backward compatibility of process, limited administrative powers. Power users group. One group is there that has backup for administrator group, equivalent, not similar to administrator, but more similar to what administrator group has a privileges. Similar privileges are going to have for power users. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to add user 2 to power users group. Try to add that user 2 from power users. I can, just a moment, Srini. I can add the user to by going to the groups and add a user, or I can go to users, from click on user two properties. Select member of. If I am in user control session, I'm going to add a group to here. If I am in groups permission screen, I'm going to add users to the screen. Okay. You just try in different directions how to provide privileges. What I'm going to do here, select add here. What options are you going to come? Power users, select power users. Power users, power space users. Check, check, check. Okay, that groups are available. Click OK. See here, is this particular user 2 is member of two groups. One is users group, other one is power users group. Here, I did not add remote desktop users. Okay, that in the sense, see what this power users getting a privileges. We'll see that. Okay, click OK. Now try to log in, minimize this. Here, you are going to get a different error. What is that error? By default, Windows Server is going to allow you to log in 2 sessions only. It allows 2 sessions. We already, one user is having an administrator session, the other one is we log in as a user 1. Now we are going to try as a user 2. Let's see what error it is going to provide an issue. We are going to open one more remote desktop sessions. We already connected 2 sessions to this server. Now we are trying third session. Let's see what error we are going to get. User 2. See here, this connection was denied because user account is not authorized to remote login. Okay, that in the sense the power user is a permission to perform certain actions, but he is not part of remote desktop users. Go to administrator screen and add remote desktop permission. Try from users or groups, whatever the convenient for you. What you need to do is for user 2, you need to provide a privilege for remote desktop user. What are the way you are going to do it? So you are not sure what the group is. The better way is go to groups and then select a user. That is the easiest way. So everyone need to practice. If you are not getting hands-on practice, you are not sure where to navigate, how to add and all those things. You have to practice a lot. Initially, we are going to struggle. Once you do 2 to 3 times, you are going to get a practice. Okay. Minimize the screen. Now try to log in with user 2. See here, what it is providing an option. By default, any server, Windows 2000 server, Windows to any server, 2008 or 2012, it allows only 2 sessions by default. Okay, so if any server is using by 2 users, it is not going to allow the third session. Okay, so what I'm going to do is either I can select one session to be quick out, or I can log off one session. But I want to log on, so I'm selecting a user 1. Okay, try again. It will wait for a few seconds. If you are not selecting any option, it will quit you from the server. Okay, so I'm going to select one session to kick off. That I am going to quit user 1 from the server. Select user 1. Here what I'm going to show you is user 1 is not in a position to open certain administrative privileges, administrative actions. For user 2, I provided a permission of groups like remote desktop users group. The other one is power users group. Okay, so we are going to see what privileges user 2 is going to get now. Okay. Now try to open server manager. When I log in with user 1, we received an error, right? Now by using select this, accept as, password, type the password. Even this administrative remote desktop also is not possible through remote desktop. But in a console, if you have a console screen, by using power user, you can perform certain actions. Okay. There is a two sessions different. One is a console, the other one is remote desktop sessions. Some actions are not going to allow. This is a policy setting. Some users are not going to allow from remote desktop session. That's what I'm going to show you. Why it is restricted even you have a permission, you have a privilege for this particular user too. Even though I'm not in a position to perform this action. Why? Because this is a remote desktop session. In remote desktop session, that administrator talks are not allowed for other users. We need to change the policies, where to go and how to change the policies. Okay, I'm not going in deep here, just I'm going to show you what is the understanding of users, what is the understanding of groups. That's the main intention here. Okay, if I talk about policies and all those things, the sessions are going to take very long. It is your responsibility to go and practice on your lab, on your systems. Or if you are not sure, explore how to configure sessions, how to control users and groups. Okay, now I'm going to show you log off this screen. I'm going to show you local policies. Where this local policies? Now, till now, we are not sure where to go users, what is your groups, okay, we understand what is a user, what is the privileges, what are the groups are available, what is the local users, whatever the groups and users are available in that same system, that we call it as local users and groups. Now we are going to talk about policies. What are the policies, where to go, local policies, what, how to restrict a password. Now close this icon, close this server manager, go to start. See here, there is administrator tools option is there. Administrator tools option. Here, local policies, local security policy. Select local security policy. Select that. I'm going to show you how to restrict a password. I'm going to show you how to restrict a password. Till now we use default password. Okay. I'm going to set the password. It is going to, okay, no problem. See here, account policies, expand account policies. It is going to close the session. No problem. I will continue once session is closed. We'll continue next session. Okay, account policies, expand account policies, password policies, expand password policy. See here, what is the enforcement password policy? Zero passwords remembered, and that in the sense I can use this password n number of times, same password. It is not going to remember. If I set generally while using the servers or by using the any site, there is a password limit. Okay, you need to change the password after 30 days like that. All those restrictions are available here. What is the minimum password is? What is the maximum password is? Minimum password length, how many characters, Here, without password also, I can log into this system. Okay, without, and also I can log into Zoom because 0 characters is there. I can set 8 characters now. Change the setting, minimum password length. Yeah, double click, properties, set 8 characters. Have you mentioned 8 characters? Okay. You can change the 0 by creating a user. I'm going to select a user 1 and user 2. Without password also, in previous setting, it allows me to create a user. Now I selected a 8 characters minimum length. Now I'm trying to create a user. See what will happen. Create a user. Go to server manager. Try to create a user. User 3. User 3. Just don't give anything. Just click OK. See here. The password error, it is given due to not meeting the password policy requirements. So how to control policies? In this way, we can control local policies. There are different local policies. Don't play with the local policies. Without knowing, if you set some setting, you are not in a position to log in even with administrator account also. Don't play with the policy settings. Okay, it is very critical. If you do mistake, it won't allow you to even log in with administrator account also. Okay, be careful. Why I'm showing is what is the policies are available. You are going to ATM. You are not, it is a computer, but you are not going to see the screen. You are going to get the screen only, enter the PIN number, enter the bank details, and that's it. How they are going to control? They are controlling through group policies. What is a group policies? Tomorrow we'll discuss about Active Directory concepts. What is Active Directory it is going to do? Today we understand that what is the users, local groups. Tomorrow, once we completed the Active Directory installation, we are going to get a different concept, okay? So that we can understand what is a centralized management users and groups. That is centralized management users concept is nothing but Active Directory. Okay, Active Directory services. Tomorrow we are going to see that. So practice this. Don't play with policy settings. Don't play. Just I'm going to show you where these policies are available. How can we restrict the policies? Okay, you can play with password settings, but don't play any other settings. Open policies. See here, there are different policies are available. This is a simple setting, policy setting. Just we are restricting the password length, that's it. You can make it as a 0 now and try to create the same user and see the difference. 0, make it 0. Now try to create a user.